Hello, this webinar poses the question, will every Christian in the United States be judged by the use of their vote? Well, the parable of the talents is from the New Testament in the Scriptures, and it goes like this. It will be like a man going on a journey who called his servants and entrusted his property to them. To one he gave 5 talents of money, to another 2 talents, and to another 1 talent, each according to his ability. Noteworthy that this teaching is toward the end of Jesus' ministry. He expected the disciples to be mature enough to understand the teaching. The talents that we've been given as citizens of the United States are as follows. The amazing stories of God's providences in American history. The sacrifice of previous generations. A system of government unique in all the world. Freedom of religion, speech, press, assembly, and petition. And the vote. After a long time, Jesus said, the master returned, and the man who had received 5 talents earned 5 more. Well done, good and faithful servant. The man with 2 talents earned 2 more. Well done, good and faithful servant, the master said. Then the man with 1 talent came. I was afraid and went out and hid your talent in the ground. What does the master say to the servant who does not steward his 1 talent? He said, you wicked and lazy servant. Another translation says, slothful. Every Christian should vote versus being lazy or slothful. God judges harshly those who have the power to stop wickedness but step aside and do nothing. Every Christian vote has the power to stop wickedness. God has given you a talent of voting in our country, and if you don't use it or squander it, God views it as a slothful and wicked act. Over 40 million Christians do not vote. This is wickedness and slothfulness, and it will be one of the things that God will hold every believer in the United States accountable for. Is the church full of wicked, lazy, slothful servants? Christians who don't vote play the role of the Pharisee and act like politics is too dirty because the candidates to choose from do not measure up to their standard, or to the standard of elder or deacon. Those lists of requirements for elder and deacon in the Bible are for church leadership, not civic leadership, and we forget that. We need Christians who contend for the things of God, not Christian snobs or Pharisees. Gary Bauer of American Family Values says this, with every new revelation about the true nature of this sick Marxist ideology that exists in the United States today, the Christian who does not vote to stop it, I believe, is close to actually committing a verifiable sin, something they will have to explain when they stand before the throne. The question would be this, why in the face of such evil did you allow a sick culture with totalitarian neo-Marxist impulses tell you that the right thing to do is to sit at home or in the pew reading your Bible and do nothing? There's no virtue in allowing immorality to prevail. In these circumstances, that is a sin. Just like the pastors in Nazi Germany who thought they could make a separate peace with the totalitarian regime that was taking over their country. Dietrich Bonhoeffer, a pastor during that period that prophetically called this out, said, silence in the face of evil is itself evil. God will not hold us guiltless. Not to speak is to speak. Not to act is to act. God has given us a formula to let us know if wicked people are ruling, and the formula is simply this. When the wicked rule, the people groan. So the question is society at large and the citizens of that society groaning? This seems to be the circumstance in the United States, because in fact, the people are groaning. When the wicked rule, the people groan. If the people are groaning, it's likely their leaders are wicked. You can love your neighbor by voting in such a way that you keep wicked leaders out of office. A vote either moves a nation toward God's blessings or curses. Just need to take a look at reading Deuteronomy 28 again, and it tells how nations are blessed or cursed based on the direction of their civil leadership. Pastors who fail to instruct their congregation in the Christian duty to vote are either ignorant or cowardly. A George Barna survey revealed 60% of Christian leaders said a message of God is in control might unintentionally cause many not to vote. Lazy or complacent Christians that would use the excuse of God is sovereign and in control, or my vote won't make a difference, are using God as an excuse for their own ignorance or laziness. They are completely ignoring the Bible's teaching on being salt and light, being a steward over all of creation, and the parable of the talent already mentioned. Where are the pastors that are reminding their congregations today? Charles Finney, the Billy Graham of his time period, said this: "The church must take right ground in regard to politics. Politics are part of a religion in a country as this, and Christians must do their duty to their country as a part of their duty to God. God will bless or curse this nation according to the course Christians take in politics. By this he means Christians should be civically engaged, advancing people of character and of good governance for the blessing of all people, and should be a steward of their vote. American Christian, you've been given a lot of talents by being born in the United States, and one of those talents is your vote. Be a steward over it." My name's Craig Seibert. Thanks for listening.